It's 23 March 2024, and today is a rather quiet day. I'm going to be giving you an update on what has happened. Last night I did a live. I was streaming live regarding the issues or the developments in the CCC and also in the new blue movement. So overnight, I've managed to talk to quite a number of people, and there has been no statement issued by anybody, but I know what's happening. However, I do not want to give incorrect information. So I've got information that I've got now, but I do not want to give incorrect information. There is still a number of verifications that I need to do before I release the information. So what I'm going to do is tonight, 9:10 p.m. on my usual broadcasting slot, I'm going to come back and give you an update on what is happening in the CCC regarding the positions. So that is an Ostallos, Chibaya, Mahere, Nkwananzi, all those things that are happening in the CCC. I've got the information of what is happening, and I also understand the delicate nature of what is going to be happening within the next 3 weeks. The next 3 weeks are going to be very critical because the CCC is undergoing another big change. So what you have to understand is that currently the CCC that you are seeing, which is the one with Nkwananzi and the rest of the guys, they are undergoing a big change, which is going to result in a change that is almost as big as the resignation of Nelson Chamisa. So when Nelson Chamisa left the CCC, there was a big vacuum which was created, and that vacuum cannot be filled by anybody. There is nobody right now in Zimbabwean politics who is as big as Nelson Chamisa. It is not possible to replace Nelson Chamisa because of the support that Chamisa has got. Everyone is agreed that without Nelson Chamisa, the Zimbabwean opposition is dead. Currently, no one is willing and able to go into the space that Chamisa has left when he stepped out and said he's no longer a member of the CCC. So there is massive confusion, and there's no one among the guys that are left that has got the ability to take over from Nelson Chamisa and garner enough support to then take and challenge ZANU PF. So that is clear. Everyone is aware that without Chamisa, there's no Zimbabwe opposition. This is a very dangerous situation for the opposition in Zimbabwe, because it means that if Chamisa says, I'm no longer in politics, the opposition in Zimbabwe cannot win an election, and ZANU PF will continue to rule over Zimbabwe for a very long time. So this is the current situation. The information that I have is that there's no statement. No one has been allowed to issue a statement. So among all the guys, regarding what I showed you yesterday, which is the appointment of Fadzayi Mahere and the appointment of Ostallos in the CCC. So as far as this situation is concerned right now, as far as it is concerned, that appointment that was made by Nkwananzi is actually standing. There is no one who has rejected it to say Mahere and Ostallos are now backing the CCC. So let's wait the whole day and observe and see what is going to happen. I'm going to be coming back here in the evening at 9 p.m., 10 past 9 o'clock to give you an update. So let me quickly look at other news. I found a very interesting story that I want to actually speak about. And this is to do with the universities, publicly funded universities in Africa are undergoing a massive problem. So the University of Botswana, and this is a story coming out, it's a breaking story in Botswana, it's very big, it's affecting thousands of families. So the University of Botswana is failing to pay salaries. They announced that they are failing to pay salaries on the day of the payment. So staff were waiting for money in the bank accounts, and the money didn't come into the account. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Botswana has then sent out a letter informing staff, that is Mr. Dennis Norris, saying that he does not, they do not have the money to pay. So that is Mr. Dennis Norris here. They do not have the money to pay salaries, and they do not know when they're going to pay salaries because they are waiting for the government to release salaries. And as you know, the government of Botswana, although they've got their own issues, they do not just release money. And the problem with the University of Botswana, those people who know the University of Botswana from long back, it's not a very advanced university. I've been to the University of Botswana, and the structural problems that are at the University of Botswana is the failure to move with technology and the structure at the University of Botswana. There's so many employees. So if you have to retrench 600 employees, it means you already have too many employees. And this comes from the legacy issues from when the university was established, starting in 1964. This university was a university of Lesotho, Swaziland, and Botswana. It was a mission university. Then Lesotho pulled out and Swaziland pulled out, and in 1984 it became a university. Then now the vice chancellor, who is Mr. Dennis Norris, is actually now the one who's left. The other vice chancellor or deputy vice chancellor, Mr. Georgios Ekose, has resigned. So he stepped down, and massive numbers of staff are disoriented and disgruntled. There's so much bad publicity around the University of Botswana, and I can foresee a situation where the university might have to close various parts of that university, because if you look at what's happening with education, higher education, most of the degrees that people are coming out with are not relevant. So students are realizing that going to a university is actually not the end goal. So someone who goes to varsity and someone who doesn't go, you may eventually end up the same, because the employment market is not ready for the degree that you're going to produce. That is because knowledge is common. So now with in the age of AI, knowledge is common. Everyone knows. There are certain things that when you study at university, when you come out, it's actually better not to do those things. For example, marketing, you can get a marketing degree from somewhere else. You can get your, let's say, administration degree from somewhere else. Some industries are actually falling apart or falling away because of AI. So this is actually a very significant development in Southern Africa. The University of Botswana failing to pay staff salaries yesterday, and also announcing that they're going to cut 600 jobs, and that they're going to, further than that, which is around October 2024, they're going to announce a voluntary retrenchment exercise. So if you are in Botswana right now, this is quite topical. Then if we look at what's happening in Zimbabwe, there are massive issues at the University of Zimbabwe in terms of staff salaries, where the investors announced a payment of $2.50 per hour for part-time lecturers. This is almost an insult to the guys there. And similarly, there is massive issues at the Great Zimbabwe University, where there is a lot of fighting for the position of vice chancellor after I think the current vice chancellor Zobo went on leave. So we have massive issues in higher education, but the University of Botswana is the first to fall by the wayside. I foresee that this is going to be a massive issue in Southern Africa. Maybe you have a lot of students again coming from the University of Botswana, coming back to Zimbabwe. Like before, most students from Botswana were coming to Zimbabwe to get their education. So let's watch that. This is the most important story for today. I now want to go to other stories. Today, I don't have many newspapers, so I'm not going to be giving you a lot of stories, but I've got one or two other stories that I want to show you here. This is to do with the Zimbabwe community radio stations. So all the newly licensed Zimbabwe community radio stations that were given licenses have collapsed. They're failing to become viable. Communities are not interested in supporting these radio stations. So the business model for a radio station has died. What is left is YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. So if you want to be a producer, this is one of the things that I'm talking about. If you're studying radio now, it's useless. No one is going to employ you in the radio station. So you rather be a producer, a content producer, rather than going into a radio. Even television. Right now, television is dead. The amount of people that they are going to employ in a TV station. is going to be very, very small. Right, and then let's go to Mbudzi Interchange. Construction at Mbudzi Interchange is stopped. It's ground to a halt. ED is failing to finish all his projects. As I say here every day, ED is going around opening things that don't make sense. He's been to Manhizhe multiple times and talking the same speech at Manhizhe, and that plant is not yet finished. This is because it's not his project, it's the Chinese projects. And ED's projects will not work until the Zimbabwe currency is working. And currently the Zimbabwe currency is not working. I hope that they announce the monetary policy statement in which we expect the Zimbabwe dollar to be abolished, and then we remain with the US dollar and the multi-currency system. But otherwise, nothing is going to move in Zimbabwe with the current currency. It's collapsing on a daily basis, and people are suffering. Mnangagwa, and Zara. This is what is happening every day. Then let's look at a story coming out of Newsday. ZANU PF MP for Mazowe, Tsungai Makumbe, is accused of infecting his lover, Ludia Makuvure, with HIV. She's gone to court, and he is also going to court to get a peace order against her. So that is MP for Mazowe. That is Tsungai Makumbe. If you go to the newspaper, you're going to see that story. He denies all the allegations, and Ludia says she follows him around. She goes to ZANU PF head office. She phones him at church, his apostolic, and tells everyone that his problem is in love with their wives. And this Ludia says she's a member of the Forever Associates Zimbabwe. So I want to wrap this up here. I'm not going to spend a long time today. I'll be back in the evening. As I said, there is a massive development in the CCC, but no one has been allowed to issue a statement. So if you look at someone like Ostallos, that's all that is posted. Ostallos is posted here and now. I belong to the Citizens Coalitions for Change led by President Nelson Chamisa. This is the only post that Ostallos has put. He says he belongs to the Citizens Coalition for Change as led by President Nelson Chamisa. I don't know why he pinned this post, but this is what he pinned yesterday. As I said, there is massive developments that are going to happen, is almost as massive as what happened when Nelson Chamisa stepped out of the CCC. Because without Chamisa, nothing can work in Zimbabwean opposition. And currently, Chamisa has distanced himself from everything that is happening, including everything Chibai was doing, including everything Ostallos was doing. Chamisa has said he's not part of it. He's going to make his own new announcement. And that is what is there. So let me quickly look at the comments, and then we'll take it from there. I'll be back in the evening, as I said. So this was just a morning update. I'm always going to be with you all. I'm not going to ever stop publishing. We need a 24-hour news station, and that is what we're building here. Then Chef Lee is saying, do you ever sleep, Mr. Gambakwe, because you seem to be working a long time ago? Yes, I work from around 1 a.m. That is my time. 1 a.m. and throughout the night. This is my business. This is how I make a living. And the plan is that we're going to have a 24-hour station, TV station. We want to bring media to Zimbabwe because the problem that we have in our country is that our media is not serious. Most of the guys are not serious. So we want to have a serious media house in Zimbabwe that is going to challenge all the other media houses in terms of news coverage, 24-hour news coverage. As you know what is happening right now in Russia, other TV stations are covering it. We can't cover that. We want to be able to cover things in Zimbabwe. Social media has allowed us to do this. And maybe that the other young people who are covering news in Zimbabwe, you've got various perspectives. You can hear Rumbi was live. I was watching it last night. Now we are hearing my perspective. But that's not enough. We need Guti. When you open your eyes, you can come to Gambakwe and see a different person talking. So that is the plan that we have. MS is saying, not true. There could be an opposition after Chamisa and thought him. Once a time there is a big opposition leader by the name of Tsungai. Yes, Mkoma, I agree with you. But politics in Zimbabwe is based on individuals. So it's not based on structures. So right now, if Mahere was to say, I'm the president of CCC, you will see what will happen. She'll be the most hated person on earth. People love Nelson Chamisa. And even Mkwanans is going to struggle to make people follow him. Ostallos is going to stand up and say, I'm now the new leader of the CC. As long as Chamisa is there. And to make matters worse, there is no one who is creating their own brand. All these people want to ride on Chamisa. They don't want to create their own brand. They don't want to stand up and talk. So right now there's such a big vacuum. That is the problem. There is a vacuum. The only person that you are seeing right now is Gambakwe every day. Who else are you seeing? You see, that is the problem. Both within CCC and also in ZANU PF, guys are not willing to step up and take the leadership position. And this is a very, very big problem. And then let's look at Manyoni says, how far Mzimba Uya, who is starting a nation Nikayaki now. Jokonya is joking, he's not serious. So Jokonya is joking. He's not serious, Jokonya. I've tried to talk to Jokonya. He's not responding to me. He's not starting a country, that guy. I don't know what he's doing. And that is very sad. Mkoma Kennedy says, one thing I like about Gambakwe, you research your stories first before issuing to us. Yes, that's true. Thank you very much, Mkoma Kennedy. As I said, the future of a country is in two places: the military and the media. Those are the two people that are going to bring our country back to where it's supposed to be. Mnangagwa, they failed. If you want to see someone who has failed, it's ED. ED has failed to bring this country into prosperity. He's opening the same thing over and over. How can someone open Manhizhe 3, 4, or 5 times a year? That is crazy. So yeah, I'm very sorry for ED because of what he's doing. And Mkoma Simbari is saying, I stay up in Toronto to hear your morning stream before I sleep, even though my wild short sometimes. Yes, thank you very much, Mkoma Simbari. What happened to those ZANU PF guys who were in Canada? I see they're quiet. Now they came to Zimbabwe, they wanted to start a train station, they wanted to do all sorts of things. What happened? That is the problem in Zimbabwe. We don't have serious people. We need serious people in business, we need serious people in media, we need serious people in the military, and all these things are not working. So thank you very much, everybody, for this update. I'll be back in the evening and I'll give you an update as soon as I talk to the right people. I've been talking to the right people overnight. I know what is happening, but I'll give it to you on in the evening around 9 p.m. Thank you very much, and a good evening to you, and a good day to you all. Now to the evening, because I'm not good day to you all.